Hello, so in this video I am going to talk about how I use Scratch Junior to enhance learning digitally and across other curricular areas as well. Scratch Junior is a programming app that can be accessed from the self-service application on the iPad as well as online. It is free and it's accessible for children between 5 and 7, but obviously can be adapted to suit. I find it really useful, particularly for my children who have English as an additional language, and I really use it to help children in their ability to retell stories. So this video is just a little bit of a kind of guide as how I use it. So I've started off by looking for a character. Now in this video we are going to recreate the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, because that's been our focus in fiction. But yeah, so we start off with looking for a character. This is one that I've pre-made, named him Jack, and you can click on the paintbrush tool, which will allow you to edit what your character looks like. So the children really love to play about with this because they can make their character unique. They can change the hair, the skin tone, the clothes that they're wearing. You can even edit on items to your character, which I will do later on in the video as well, just for you to have a wee look. So you can move him about, and then I go back into the edit section and I start to edit on different shapes to make a basket, because obviously he's going to the market. So I've just edited a little basket on for him, which you'll be able to see in a wee second. So here's our character. You can move him about again. Now at the top there's a little square, and it will let you choose from different pre-made backgrounds or scenarios. So I have stuck with this one because I feel like it looks like Beanstalk, but again, same as the character, you can change the colour of the background. The children can add things to the background and just make it suitable for them and their story. So these backgrounds and character edits are really useful. It just helps the children kind of create their own environment and their own world in which they are visualising the story. So these bars below, you can see the yellow, the blue, purple, green, orange and red are all part of the programming, and I always start with the green flag because as soon as you click that green flag, it means that any kind of action that you are asking your character to do, it will do that. So a lot of children, they will place arrows like 5 times, whereas I just tell the children just click on the number and change it to however many times you want to. Play about with it, see how far you want your character to go, how not far you want your character to go. And this is another section that I'm adding here with some speech. So the children can type their speech if they don't want to record their voices as well. Some children do both, but again, the green option gives you the option to actually add your own voice to the scenario. As long as you give it access to your microphone, then it will do that. The orange sections are to allow your character time, either to pause, to stop. You can make your character speed up as well, or you can have the situation of whatever is happening looping as well, how many times you want. So I've got my character here moving 6 times. He's saying, wow, a beanstalk, having him wait, and then he will go up the beanstalk just a couple of times, and again I just kind of play about with it to see what looks good and what doesn't, or what I need to adapt, and the children are quite good at doing the same thing. And normally when you're finished that scene, you'll just click on the red tab and you can bring down the first option, which will either stop the motion, or the second option will loop the motion, or when you have another scene there will be a third option which will automatically move it to the next scene, which is really useful, especially during storytelling. So here I am ready for scene 2, so I click on the plus sign on the right hand side of the screen, and to delete the character that's already there, the little cat, you just hold it and press X, and I'm creating another scene. So this is a scene basically where he's climbed up the beanstalk and he stumbles upon the castle. Now the good thing about the character tab is it doesn't just allow you to add characters, but there are different items there, places there as well. So there was already a castle there, which is great. The kids can edit the castle, make it look however they want. I've just made it orange just to make it a little bit more different than the stock image that's already there. Now just be sure that the children know that when they're creating their actions and their programming, that they've clicked on the character and not the item, like the castle is what I've done here. So a lot of children make that mistake. They think that they've done a code for their character to move when actually they've clicked on maybe the place by mistake. So because I've already made Jack in a previous scene, he will already be there in my characters when I go on the left hand side and click on the plus, which is really good. So again, starting with the green flag because that's what I click on to start the animation. I've just got him saying a little phrase here. And to make it a little bit more challenging, there are different options within the programming. So I've just got my character moving along to the right, and then I'm going to have him moving up, and I'm going to actually make him smaller so it looks like that he's going inside the castle. So this is where you'll see there's the red tab to stop the animation, but I actually want it to go into the next scene. So you'll see when I go back to the first scene that I'm able to do that because there's a little tab with the square that says 1. So that means if I had that at the end, it would go back to scene 1, which is what I'm going to do just now. So I'm moving on to the next scene where he goes inside the castle and he meets the giant. So again, I've just picked a different character and I've edited him a little bit. Now the characters are not going to be perfect, but the good thing is you can adapt them and you can edit them, and the children become so engaged with their creation anyway that it doesn't matter. But I've picked the part of the story where the giant has the hen that lays the eggs, so that's why I've made the chicken a little bit yellow. And just making sure that the children know that they have to click on the character that they want to say these things, or the character that they want to move. So I've clicked on the giant and I'm going to have him just using emojis to say that he's sleeping because the giant's sleeping at that point in the story. So again, just making sure that you click on the right character. As you can see at the left hand side, this is Jack. So when the green flag hits, Jack is going to move to the right and he's going to say just one phrase. And again, the good thing about this is, depending on what class you have, your expectations can be different. So this phrase is probably enough for primary 3 class, which is what I teach. So I would be quite happy with that. And here I am, I've just sped it up, I'm just playing about with the animations. Every time I click on the green flag is deciding what is actually happening to the story. So I've just got Jack here. The aim is that he's going to move over, he's going to walk up to the chicken, and he's going to walk away with the chicken. But that is really just a basic starter tutorial on how I use Scratch Junior to retell a story, and it's always best to actually see it in practice. So I'm going to add in just a few clips of some of the examples that my children did. They are primary 3, so I've got ages between 6 and 7, and they were all really engaged. They all love using Scratch Junior and not a single one of them are off task.
Stop. How'd you climb up it? Wow, a console. Hello, who are you? What are you doing? You're gonna make me fall? Hello, let's do Little Red Riding Hood. Hope you like it. Okay, hope you enjoyed. Bye.
So here are some examples of the work that the children had produced, and a couple of examples of the coding or the programming underneath. Again, the children really loved it. It can be differentiated to suit each child. There's fun options for the characters, so the hole in the face, they can actually use the camera tool to use their own faces, which they love to see because it makes them feel like they're a part of the story as well. There's probably lots of training on how to use this app. This is again just a little starter video, but the best way to learn always is to try it out for yourself, which is what I did. Have a practice before you actually teach it to the children, but I guarantee you they will pick it up really, really quickly. There's loads of skills involved when it comes to using this, and it's a great technique to use for children, especially who can't particularly write well, or they can't retell a story well within their writing. So this is another great way, especially for talking and listening if they're not able to do that either. So yeah, hope this was helpful, and yeah, enjoy!